The crate in my living room rattled. I don't own a dog. My phone showed a motion alert with a collar tag jingle I recognized from a house I'd left an hour ago. The rules said never feed the customer's dog. I did, once. And now something else knew my address. I backed away from the door and listened. Nails on wood. No footsteps. Only the soft bump of a crate against drywall, in a room that has never had one. An hour earlier, that sound was in a split level on Wren Court. I install washers and dryers for a big box store. The company packet is thick. Rules, signatures, photos of bites I don't want to see. 2 in bold for houses with animals. Do not enter yards unsupervised. Do not feed the customer's dog. I get why. You give one treat, you teach them strangers are food. But I'd been at Wren Court for 10 minutes with a dryer half on a dolly and a small brown mutt screeching like an alarm at my shins. The owner had texted me a code to the lockbox and a smiley face. She said she'd be 20 late coming from work. A post-it was taped to the storm door. Buddy is anxious. Treats in the jar if needed. I took a photo of the note because it clashed with my packet in my head. I sent it to my manager with a question mark. Green bubble, no red. Buddy's bark hit a higher note. He was all ribs and eyes and nails like coins on tile. His tag said Buddy, county license, and a number. I opened the jar. Small milk bones. I held one flat in my palm, low, sideways. He sniffed, sneezed, and went gentle like someone flipped a switch. He sat without being asked. I broke the rule. I told myself it was harm reduction. I rolled the dryer in and set to work. The house smelled like recent paint and something wet that didn't have a name. A crate sat open in the corner of the living room. Blanket folded. A second bowl under the end table, dry kibble untouched. Buddy watched me from a safe distance and did that 3-tap thing with his nails when he got nervous. Tap tap tap. Pause. Tap tap tap. It became a metronome while I leveled the legs. Half an hour in, something heavier moved upstairs. A step with weight. I froze thinking the owner had arrived. No door had opened. Buddy's ears went flat and he looked at the ceiling like he was reading the next line. Then nothing. I checked the time. 1:13 p.m. I went back to the gas line. The burner lit blue, clean. I took photos of the model number and serial, per policy. Proof lives in the phone. If a customer says you scratched their floor, if they say you dented their door, the photo says you didn't. I took one of the post-it about treats, too. At 1:41, the owner texted that she was almost home. Could I leave the old dryer in the garage? Yes. I wheeled it out onto the driveway and saw tracks I didn't make. Mud smears in 2 arcs on my van's rear bumper like something had reared and braced. Paw prints on the step. Too big for Buddy. Too far apart. I took a photo and put a paper towel over the step so I wouldn't smear them. A shadow moved across my driver window then vanished. Someone walking a tall dog. No leash in sight. The neighbor across the street watched me over her hedge without pretending otherwise. She said, not a question, you fed him. I said, he calmed down. She shook her head once like that wasn't the point. It won't be just him now. What else was there? She went inside and shut the door. Buddy followed me back in and lay by the laundry room like my shadow. He didn't do the 3-tap now. He listened. I listened too. Nothing upstairs. Nothing outside but a distant truck. I tightened the gas, checked for leaks, showed a green line on my meter, and texted the owner 3 finished photos. She replied with a thank you and a tip emoji. On my way out, I saw a second post-it I had missed behind the plant by the stairs. Do not let Buddy out back. I hadn't. I locked up, put the key back, and slid into the van. The paper towel was gone from the step. The mud prints were smeared into long commas over the edge. Someone had stepped where I tried to save it. I drove 2 more stops, a condo and a ranch, normal, boring, people who signed their names and made small talk about lint. At dusk, headed home, my dash chimed with a rear door alert. I hadn't opened it at that light. I checked the mirror. Nothing but my straps and the empty hand truck. A collar tag sound chimed from the cargo floor. Buddy? Impossible. I pulled into my lot and opened the back. Nothing. Just my straps and the peel of that pine gel smell again. I went upstairs and heard it as I turned the key. Tap tap tap. On my door, low. Same rhythm Buddy did when he got nervous. I checked the peephole. Empty hall. No one at the stairs. Still, the tap came again from the other side of the door, lower this time, like from the floor. My phone buzzed with a motion alert. Living room, detected. I opened the app and saw only my couch in gray and the corner where a crate would be if I owned one. Then the sound came again from behind me. A soft bump against drywall. I turned. Nothing there. The app cycled a notification. New clip saved, 1:13 p.m. It was wrong. It was dark outside. The crate rattled again in nothing there. I set the phone on the counter and walked the apartment. I touched the wall where the bump had sounded. My hand met paint and cold. I opened closets. I checked under the bed. Nothing moved. Then the motion alert chimed again. I hit play. The clip showed my couch, my rug, my blank TV. In the left corner, a wire crate shimmered like heat. The bars flexed as if something leaned inside. A tag jingled. No dog. Just the sound and the shape the app thought it saw. The timestamp read 1:13 p.m. I held the camera up to the room to match the angle. No crate. I scrubbed the timeline and paused on the OSD. In tiny text it said Wren_CAM_2. My camera is named Elevinger_OM_1. Why would my app pull a clip from a house I'd left? And who renamed it as mine? I saved the clip and texted it to my work email. Proof later if I started doubting now. The tap came again at the base of the door. I put my cheek to the wood and looked through the gap. A black nylon thread lay flat against the threshold. It twitched once like a fishing line. Who runs line under apartment doors? I slid the door open fast. Hallway empty. The thread led left and disappeared under my neighbor's rug. I lifted the corner. Nothing under it. When I let go, the line slid back toward my door on its own. Down the hall a door clicked softly. Someone had been sitting quiet, holding the other end. I texted the clip to my brother and typed, "If I don't respond, call." He replied with one word, "Where?" Before I could answer, the owner from Wren Court called. "Hi, it's Maura. Did you see Buddy slip past you?" "No," I said. "He was inside when I left." "You said the lockbox code worked." "It did. But the back fence is open. He's gone." "Did you let him out?" Her voice wasn't angry. Scared. "I didn't touch the door," I said. There was a note that said not to. Silence. Then, the note is new. I didn't write that. Weird prints were on my van, I said. Bigger than his. I've seen them. Her voice went smaller. Don't put food in the trash outside. Don't leave your door cracked. If you hear his tag at night, don't call his name. What is them? I asked. She didn't answer that. I'm coming back, I said. Don't, she said fast. Just don't feed anything else. The crate sound is in my apartment. I regretted saying it. She exhaled hard. Then it knows you. What knows me? She hung up. I put the chain on and set a chair under the knob. I opened my van app and checked door events. Rear showed open at 1:13 p.m. close at 1:14. I was with a customer then. The log marked my location as Wren Court. The back alert pulsed again. I checked my hallway cam. It showed the closed door. The gap at the bottom. Quiet. Then a shadow lay across the gap like a palm pressed flat. Metal ticked against wood. The sound of a tag. I called the non-emergency line and started a report. While I gave my name, the line under the door exhaled. Air moved like a mouth at the threshold. The dispatcher said units were tied up and to call 911 if entry was attempted. I texted my brother and told him to come anyway. He wrote back, 10 out. I played the Wren_CAM_2 clip again. In the reflection on my blank TV, a shape crossed. Not a dog. Tall. Shoulders wrong. I full screened and paused on the clearest frame. A wet outline in the glass. Upright. A collar sound but no collar. I sent it to Maura. No read. Tap 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 from the door cut that thought in half. Buddy? I asked through my teeth like an idiot. The tag jingle answered. Then came the long scrape of something along the jamb at knee height. My brother knocked 3 hard knocks our way. I opened with the chain on. He looked down at the floor. Mud arcs curved over my threshold like commas. The nylon line lay limp and cut. He sniffed. Wet dog, he said. Then, and something else. We walked the hall. Fresh prints dried dark on the carpet runner. Too long for Buddy. Wrong shape. We followed them down to the stairwell and stopped. They ended at the landing drain. He shivered. You need to call the store, he said. Report a bite risk. It didn't bite, I said. Not yet, he said. We went back in. He stood in the kitchen and watched the door for me while I called my manager. I told him about the note, the neighbor, the prints, the crate clip. He said, we have a policy for this. He read from a screen. If animal behavior persists beyond service window, document, advise owner, escalate to risk, do not engage, do not feed. I didn't engage, I lied. I left a treat. He sighed. Then you engaged. Does risk mean anything happens? I asked. It means we write an email, he said. Change your route tomorrow. Avoid that street this week. And the part where something is at my door now? More silence. He said, call the police if it tries again. After I hung up, the app pinged one more time. New clip saved, 1:13 p.m. hallway. I pressed play and saw my door open 3 inches on its own. Air moved. The chain held. The gap was black. Something thin slid in and felt for the chair leg. Metal pinged. The tag again. Then the door eased shut and the hall went still. I paused the frame where the gap was widest. Across the hall, the neighbor's rug lifted and laid back down by itself. In the audio, under the tag, 3 taps.